Saturday, it's Earth Day, a great time for kids and parents to get involved and learn about how to protect the environment and why it's so important.
Yeah, the topic is covered in this edition of The Week Junior, the news magazine for kids age 8 to 14. And the executive editor, Mindy Walker, is joining us now to talk more about it. Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here. Thank you. All
right, so this week's issue has a lot of great Earth Day content, and you say that this is something that your young readers are passionate about. Isn't that right?
They are absolutely passionate about it. So a lot of our readers tell us that they're the reason why their families compost or do Meatless Mondays. They make jewelry that they sell to give that money to animal shelters. We also know from the annual survey that we do every year where we ask kids their top concerns about the world, taking care of animals and the environment is always one of the top on the list. So that's why for this issue, we decided to do extra content than we usually do.
Okay, I know these young advocates, they may want to see environmental change, but they're not sure where to start. So let's talk about what your magazine is offering up as far as suggestions. What are things that families can do to get involved?
Well, I think there's definitely a couple steps you can do because you're right, it can be overwhelming. There's climate change, there's helping the oceans, there's recycling and getting rid of plastic. So where does a child start? And I think this weekend is a great opportunity to take advantage of an Earth Day event in your community. There's going to be river cleanups or park cleanups, craft fairs. You can go to earthday.org to find something happening in your area. You can also go in the city, in the American Museum of Natural History. They have Earth Day Fest going on. There's going to be performances, hands-on activities, and exhibits. So it gives your child an idea of how they can help and what's going on and what they might be most inspired to do by doing something this weekend. And then after that, the second thing to do is to really have more conversations with your child about what you did this weekend and what they might be inspired to make a difference about. So if food waste was something they're really concerned about, maybe they could write a letter to their principal or their teacher and say, hey, can we get some posters up in the cafeteria about reducing food waste? Or if they really like that park cleanup, maybe they could write to their city council official and say, hey, could we have more park cleanups for kids? What we see in the magazine is when kids get this response from these officials, it really empowers them and makes a difference. They're inspired to do more.
Yeah, doing it with family or just adults in general, it really is so important. And to that end, you said that there are a couple of books that you would recommend that can help families explore ways to help the environment. What are some of those books that you would suggest?
Sure. So one of the books we really like is Zero Waste Kids. It has 35 different activities that kids can do at home with friends, with family. Some of the tips include like taking old T-shirts and turning them into napkins so that you don't have to use disposable napkins. You can go plogging. I think plogging is really fun. It's when you go for a jog and you pick up litter while you jog. So you might take a little bag with you and pick stuff up. You can learn about how to do a zero waste lunch, how to have a lunch with where you're not throwing anything away. The other book we really like is Old Enough to Make a Difference. This is a picture book, and it shows 12 different kids and what they're doing in real life. So these are kids from all over the world that are making a difference. It's very beautiful, but what's great about it is that your child in your community can say, okay, this kid in China realized that supermarkets are wasting food and they're getting it to communities. Maybe I can do that. So you can learn from the kids, but also be inspired by them.
And I know there's a TV show and a video game that kids might appreciate. What are those?
Okay, so a new one that's out on Apple TV right now, plus is Jane. It's about a girl named Jane, and her role model just happens to be Dr. Jane Goodall. So when we interviewed the actor for the magazine, she actually told us what a thrill it was to meet Dr. Goodall on set. So in each episode, she and a friend go on these imaginary adventures where they learn about how to protect certain animals. So there's definitely a fun learning aspect on top of all the humor and adventure. And then for a video game, we're definitely all about, meeting kids where they are, and video games is where they are sometimes. And Terra Nil is really fun. So a lot of video games are about, building cities and building colonies. And what Terra Nil does is you actually start with this barren landscape and you're going to try to build a vibrant ecosystem, or you're going to try to take the pollution out of the ocean, or you're going to plant a forest. There's also a lot of peaceful music, which I think, we were thinking about the parents on that one, that it would be kind of fun to have in the background.
Yeah, I love it. These are all such great things to do with the little ones in your family. Mindy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Happy Earth Day.
Yeah, to you as well. And for more information or to subscribe to The Week Junior, visit their website or follow them on Instagram at The Week Junior US.